I'm with William Mugliati, who's the founder of Virtue Cycles. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. How are you?
Great. We're looking at another model. So this is the last one we checked out. This one's the school bus, because you can take your kids around and put them in the front, and it's a big bucket. This one is the Pedalist. And what's interesting to me is that they're similar. This is a kind of a tadpole design with 2 wheels in the front. So is that. But that one has bigger wheels. There's no enclosure, and the whole front, that whole bucket turns, whereas this one, when you turn, it's just the wheels. So this is more traditional. You've got rear cargo storage area back there. You've got front cargo storage up here. You were even telling me a story about a woman who's got the big dogs and she wants to take them around with her. So there's like a door that she's...
so this can, you can put hinges here, where this can opens up. That way the dog can...
And dogs just hop right in? That is just so cool. You can put something together. It's like a neighborhood electric vehicle. That's what this is. The top speed officially is 20 miles per hour on this, and that's to comply with like low speed electric bike laws. This would be a class 2 because it's got a trigger throttle right here, in addition to sort of a cadence sensing module that's built right into this E-Rad mid-drive motor. And one of the interesting conversations we had before this kind of review interview started was that you used to use like the 8-fun Bafang mid-drive, and I think they're both made by Bafang in China, and you tell me, you manufacture. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, so it's we just find it's easier with E-Rad. They're local. Any problems, I just ship stuff back to them, and then they
good service.
Yeah,
and they have shift sensing and stuff, which is cool. Some other refinements that they've made to upgrade, but it's just neat to hear. People are like, oh, it's more expensive, and you're like, hey, the quality's there. Right. So that's cool. But what you're using back here is a Shimano Nexus 8-speed internally geared hub, which means that you can shift like at standstill. So if you come to a stop sign and you're on a hill and you're like, oh no, you need to shift down, you totally can with this thing.
With this thing, it is considerably heavier than the school bus.
You were saying, right, so we were estimating that at like 120. We weren't able to weigh it officially, but that's a good estimate. The battery on that one was only like 5.4 pounds. And I was like, how much does this one weigh? And you said 170 pounds without a battery.
Without a battery, with the motor though.
But with the motor and everything else, and this fiberglass and plastic canopy that you've created here. I'll get into that more later, but the weight, 175 pounds, the reason you weigh it like that is because you can put multiple batteries, I suppose, in series here.
Correct.
To create like just a ton of watt hours to use up and go really, really far.
Right, unlike electric car where this size of a battery doesn't mean much.
Yeah.
This size of a battery actually gives about 50 to 75 miles for this thing. So you can literally put 10, 20 batteries and you go 500, 2,000 miles.
10, 20 batteries. I mean, 10 times 5. So 50 pounds up here. That's reasonable. That's reasonable. And it almost looks like you can have a person sitting back here, and that I'm estimating 150 pounds as a person.
So in our test case, we put 350 pounds on the front.
350, that's where I was getting confused. I was like, hundreds of pounds. It's very capable.
And then 200 pounds of rider, and then 200 pounds of passenger in the back.
Oh my gosh.
So total 750 pounds.
750 pounds.
Tested with quite several blocks, no problem.
Wow.
We also tested with, in San Francisco, there's a 21-degree hill. We test, going up, no problem.
Super steep. I agree with you that with that mid-drive, you're getting efficiency and real power. When you shift gears, you're empowering the motor. And not only that, but you're using 20-inch wheels all the way around. This one was 20 by 3, and these ones up here, a little bit more traditional size, 2.3. Also, I noticed that this one has maybe the older style rims that were cast aluminum. Are your newer ones with spokes, or what do they look like?
No, also cast aluminums.
And is that for strength?
For strength, correct.
Right.
So we feel this is basically, it's not really new. I mean, we just chose the best from each category. Like for wheels, we feel like BMX has the strength.
Yeah.
So we use BMX size wheel there, and then for mid-drive, we got the idea from e-bike.
Yeah.
And then the gearing, we got the idea from city bike. So it's
a high, it brings everything together. You were saying that before. You're like, it's a cargo bike. It's kind of a, I don't know, what would you call this? A velomobile?
A velomobile, basically a bicycle with a shell. They call it a velomobile. There's a benefit to it. You get in the hot places like Las Vegas or here in San Diego under this direct sun,
Yeah.
it gets really hot, but makes a lot of difference when you are under shade.
That's true. But you still have the opening, so
Right.
you have some air coming flowing by. Other things that are really special about this is, yeah, you've got the windows, they're tinted, and then you've got turn signals and lights. Okay, so up front you can see those. Maybe, were you going to turn them on? Here, we should do that.
I don't know if it's connected to.
No worries. The horn didn't work earlier, but there is a little horn down there. This is one of his kind of like prototype that we're messing with.
It's not connected.
Not working. Is the turn signal working? So anyway, the lights aren't hooked up, but they work. They're LEDs, and we've got a brake light in the rear and some more turn signals. One of the things that came up during our conversation earlier was like, what's with these cutaways? And you were saying, oh, that's so that you can get to the rear end of the bike to do service, swap tires, mess with the internally geared hub if you need to, or true the wheel more easily, and trailers.
Right, a lot of requests. What if I have more stuff? Some people
750 pounds.
Yeah, I guess it's more sizes. They go camping. Maybe they need to bring their tent and bigger stuff.
Yeah.
So we do that cut-off small panel so that you can hook a bicycle trailer.
Very cool. Very, very, very cool. So coming back in here, it's a steel frame, I'd imagine. The same
Right.
thing with your other ones. It's just painted black, so it blends in. We've got linear pull brakes in the rear, which work pretty well. And then we've got, I think there's the disc brakes up front. Are those 160 millimeter? They're mechanical Tektros again. They've got like the adjustable dial. I know I'm going in deep here, and you said this was pretty customizable. So you're talking about the lady with the dogs.
Right.
Other people want different colors, and you said there's a paint shop that for $300 they can do that.
Yes,
And that's here in San Diego?
Right, a coat of layer, and then if you want two coats, which makes it like a car quality basically,
Yeah.
that is $600.
$600. And this is fiberglass
Right.
that we're dealing with. And there's also this kind of soft, you said it was kind of like felted or what?
Like suede feel.
Suede feeling.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's basically a flocking powder where we add to it.
Soft.
We charge about $200-300 extra if you want like a suede feel.
$200 or $300 extra. Does that make it quieter inside too?
That I don't
Less
know.
echoey? I would guess that it would, just like a sound studio or something. That's one of the trade-offs with this. You know, we go from out here, la 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 la. You know, it's kind of like a cave, a little bit of an echoey feel. And if you go over bumps, you know, there's a little bit of kind of the just rattling type of noise. It depends on what you're riding on. When we do the ride test, you'll kind of get a feel for it. When you're on smooth streets, just like a regular city street, it works great. And it's actually, you were telling me like, oh, this one, a little unstable or something before because it's a bit of a prototype. But I liked it more than that one. I thought this was even more stable. You've got 3 wheels. The turning felt good. So yeah, maybe it's a personal preference. You might get some aerodynamic efficiency from this. You're going to get protection. Does anyone try to add solar panels on the top?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, well that's, you know, there's the Organic Transit Elf guys and they do that, but it's much more expensive. So this is $5,000 MSRP, right?
Right.
$5,000. I mean, there are just basic electric bikes that cost that much. And you get all these cool accessories. I noticed that it does fit on the sidewalk, right? So it's really not that wide. I mean, it looks substantial because it's got that big fairing and the canopy and everything, but it's just the same width as most recumbents.
Right.
Very cool.
We made it a little under 36 inch, so just to make sure.
36 inches in terms of width.
Correct.
Excellent. How tall is it?
6 feet, a little under 6 feet, like 71 some inches.
Do you know how long it is?
A little under 96 inch.
96 inches. Good. Thank you.
It's for shipping purposes. It's easier on the crates.
For shipping purposes, he said. Okay, so, you know, if you're going to get this, thinking about where you're going to put it and all that stuff, but really it just comes back down to a solid, stable, robust bicycle platform with bicycle components. We've got the padded grips and the brakes and everything, combined with this really unique customized shell. Is there anything I'm missing, William, that you'd like to add about this creation?
Not really. The rear, it looks small, but when you sit on it, it's actually kind of big.
Can I get back there? I'm going to try this.
All
Okay.
right.
Just,
Cool.
so those are the footrests
Yeah, there's a
I can
foot
kind of
rest
sit
here.
on, and then I'll just hold my friend's shoulders or whatever. You're right, it is actually pretty spacious. I'm wearing my helmet, and I feel like I have enough room in here. So being able to take 2 people around and keep yourself pretty dry or cool is a neat benefit. You can wave at your friends in the rear window. Cool. Well, I might just hop back on this thing and go for a little ride. Do you want to be my tailman and follow me along?
Sure, I'll follow you from the back.
cool. And he's got just a little, kind of like the bathroom stall click things on this one. You know, he was reiterating like, oh, you know, we've got another one back at the shop where the lights do work. Of course, he wants it to be great and professional, and he's been very responsive, very positive, and kind of humble on the way things are presented. But this is really cool. It's a nice value, you know, for what you get. So I'm on pedal assist 0, but you can arrow all the way up to 5. Okay, and the higher you go, the more power you're going to get, but it's not going to be, it's not going to get as far, as good of range. And I think they just have a standard battery packs. If we look down here, it's 48 volt, 15 amp hour, so that's pretty large as it is. And then they can sell you more battery packs, probably like $600 to $700 each, and then connect them in series like we were talking about. The display is not removable. You know, there's no way to really lock this thing down because it's open air, so someone could kind of get to your stuff. Just kind of keep that in mind. You might be able to lock it to the frame. This gets a lot of attention. I was riding around earlier and the kids were like, cool bike, you know. It was like, sweet. It's just fun, you know. Everyone, it's a little bit of a delighter. I'm gonna use the trigger throttle just to get us started. Whoa, boy, it really takes off. It's powerful, but it is variable speed. So there's slow, there's fast. Now we've got some palm trees coming on. Got some, I'm gonna just slowly brush by. Oh yes, there we go. Whoa, boy. And I'm in the highest level of assist, so if I arrow it down, then it's not going to be quite so jerky, because it is definitely responding quickly to me. 20 miles per hour in this would feel pretty cool. I don't want to hit anyone. And we got some hills over here. You know, E-Rad makes powerful stuff. This is their 750 watt motor. You can hear it going. I mean, there's no problem. Your top speed is going to be limited somewhat by the gear you choose. So I'm not in the highest gear. I'm in like gear 4, and you know, getting pretty solid speed, but I'd have to shift to get maximum speed. And you can hear that rattling a little bit. This is great. Go for it. He's going to give a demo of the turning radius. So from the outside, I mean, it's just silent. You know, you've got the shell. Wow, how cool. You can't really lean the thing, you know, it's got the 3 wheels for support. There's a little bit of that rattling over the bumps, but you know, that's all the velomobiles I've tested, including the Organic Transit Elf. They're both really cool. It's neat to see this in person, something so custom. Yeah, thanks again, William.
All right, thanks.
Oh, and when he stops, check this out. He can pull the brake in like that and then lock that pin down, so it's got its own kind of parking brake.
Yeah.
It's a good feature. Have a little bit of enclosure protecting you, but also be exposed to the outdoors. And this is not an official part, but that little mirror there kind of helps. It gives me a little, just a sense of security. Whoa, boy. And we hit a pothole there. Sweet. Look at this. Right on a sidewalk. Just fitting just right. That's awesome. Okay, William brought me back to his trailer because he's got a gray one here and really wanted to show the lights. And you can see them just blaring here. We've got the rear light, got the headlights going on, the LEDs. Pretty nice looking. Yeah, it looks like 7 per side. And then there's the blinker, so let's do that. We have the lights up here, and then click it this way, and you can see it signaling up front and behind, right down there. That's pretty cool, man. I gotta admit, you know, with the different colors, and it kind of blends in with the black and stuff. It's a cool little vehicle. And the other thing about it that it kind of caught my attention is, you know, we're in this trailer. I was thinking, how do people get these? Is this your trailer, like you own this?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you were saying people who live around San Diego and stuff, you can maybe deliver one if they buy it.
Sure.
They could potentially go to, you know, the San Diego Electric Bike Company. That's where we're hanging out. You can see the white one in the parking lot. They're really cool. Or they can do some arrangement with like a fulfillment company.
Yeah, there's a couple of car export import that we deliver to in Los Angeles. We can drive as far as San Francisco or even Arizona.
Yeah, cool. You know, it's a big outlay of money in some ways, but with that kind of you know, customer service, that's really nice. You don't want to overcommit yourself. You know, it's like, depending on where you live, this might be more or less achievable. You might have to spend some extra money. I once bought a truck off of eBay, and I had to spend money to have it shipped, but I was excited. You know, it came, it made it, and you're definitely getting something unique here, something kind of special. You said that there's also the company that does paint. Are they here in San Diego?
Yes,
Okay, so they could arrange and maybe pay you, and then you would facilitate the paint, or?
Right, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you're very accommodating. That's awesome, man. I'm just gonna look inside again. You can see a little bit of a glow from the lights up here and from the reflector, or I guess the blinker. I might paint over those, or just, you know, and if you're in here and it's night, you can kind of see some glare off of the window, so you wouldn't want to get too distracted since it's already tinted too, so your visibility is going to be somewhat reduced. You've still got the good audio signals from the side since they're completely open, but you can see the difference in brightness here versus the tinting, so it's nice to have those signals, nice to create some awareness, and it's just great to do this. Thanks again for, you know, bringing me back to your truck and showing it.
All right, thank you. You're welcome.
Oh, there's one more thing. What? Do you want to step out? I have earplugs in.
Oh, okay.
Ready? Oh yeah. That's awesome. That's the horn. That'll get some attention, right? Like, that's a good safety feature. Something I always think about. Oh, and these are new rims, right?
Oh yeah, that's the new one.
Look at that.
That's gonna be for production ones.
This is for their production. So it sounds like you had a Kickstarter campaign and you've been experimenting with selling locally and stuff. So you're still forging ahead, but you're still refining it. You're trying to be a little bit lighter. That was the one thing. How many iterations have you had so far?
So this is the 9th.
This is the 9th. Wow. So it's probably going to continue to evolve slightly. But I think where you've gotten is pretty nice. You know, it rode well for me, and you're under probably that 150 pound mark. Oh no, I'm sorry, you said 175 plus, so under that 200 pound mark. Once it's all said and done, depending on the batteries. How much are the additional battery packs?
That one we have not come up with a fixed number yet. So
okay, because it was a 48 volt 15 amp hour in the other battery.
On the sample, yeah. On the production, we are targeting 32 amp.
32 amp. Okay, so that way it's like you get a little bit more straight away.
Right.
You don't have to like start stacking them. It's all just one brick. And the mounting plates and stuff down there looked pretty solid. There's that box. So they've done a good job thinking it through. Thanks, man.
Cool.
This has been fun. I've been curious about this bike, recumbent electric velomobile for quite a while. I've seen it before at the trade shows. For the full write-up on this with some more details, we'll see you back at ElectricBikeReview.com. Feel free to comment in maybe your own experience. If you are the person I referred to who actually has dogs earlier, chime in. I'd love to hear your feedback on this. It's a fun vehicle. It's unique. And in my opinion, it's relatively affordable for what you get. It's very custom. Thanks again, William.
Thank you.